今天我们的进度呢？我们进度就是上人做一天，我们老师攻读一天哈，所以呢，我们今天的进度是3月1号了。那很快呢，就是要圆满我们
So our book study schedule.
部分哈。大可以处理一下我的
So it's March 1st.
我的滑鼠出状况，快点。好。
So we'll finish the summer volume.
好，好吧，这就是因缘了。好，所以 Let's go 读书去，读书真有趣。Let's go 读书去，以法来相聚哈。Go go go 读书去。那我们呢，多国语言这一个部分，我们来看看今天轮到的是哪一个国家的？因为今天是第2周，对不对？所以呢，我们轮到的是哪一个国家呢？我们一起来看一下。
So multiple language English interpretation. This is the second week. So let's see which group. So very appreciate the Master Ding Zhenyang did this. We got 5 groups. Today is the second week. So US Group A, welcome Zhao. Welcome Haizhu, welcome Regan. The online interpretation is not an easy task. The strength of team is coming from every team member. The strength of team member is coming from the team. So So we expect everybody with cell phone on your hand. So we have So we got a feedback on Guo Shelley. Sister Janet give feedback from China. Last week, Sister Ji Hui, feedback from Canada. So vegetarian is a subject. Give us a lot of the program for vegetarian life. Miss Yali. So Sister Renqing from Yunnan province. She feels after she heard the sharing of Yali, she really loved vegetarianism. Sister Pamela feedback. Anything is start from a determination. So a lot of sharing, a lot of detail we cannot really tell except from the feedback. So from Sister Meilin's sharing on the forest, enrich his knowledge of the forest. So from Brother Ye, he's a pilot on the international flight. And Mr. Peng, here the sharing, giving a very meaningful day.
跟全球来共勉这个部分。那各地区
So Wei-Fen's feedback.
新加坡的春荟，还有亚庇沙巴
So the sun never set, love never stopped.
这边的家人陈丽娟
From different regions.
非常的需要你们，所以帮我留
Thanks.
言
Chen Hui feedback from Singapore.
还有美国家
And
人，我们的纽约执行长
audience from Malaysia
即将在
and
12
from
月
Canada.
那子琳呢，她现在
Shelly
主场，但上个礼
from
拜
the
说感恩线上读书
US.
感恩美女讲师
Freeman feedback from New York.
非常的 Victor 跟石金也一直非常的支持我们。
And
日本台
Zhiling,
湾家人那个留言，掌声感恩。
she's
安怡慧，还有
joining the stage
佳
today.
慧芬，还有我们的作家美意师姐。那慧瑜呢？
And Zhiling give a lot of support.
生活字给周遭很多人哦。
And feedback from Japan and Taiwan.
一直跟我们在一起哈。大陆家人的留言是最多的。李平
Hui Yu always
开播全球欢喜
reply on the
老师金神斗主持精彩
vegetarian.
读书文法上人赞呼吁
And the message from China.
越精彩吸引众多菩萨来读书运用高科技
And from Shijiazhuang Li Ping.
佛法速度快家人多多
He made a quick
好平台我们真的觉得非常感恩
rap
大陆的家人他们几乎常常以顺口
to describe all the program he enjoyed
这边时间就跟我们说
from last week.
很冷但是北京河北南京石家庄山东还有西安大连长春青岛的家人
So it's happy for most people from audience from China. They can make a quick verse, rap like a rap,
那我们
which
这
is
边的内蒙的赤峰恩利师姐也非常感恩
and also audience from Qingdao also get feedback.
非常感恩你他说高雄一起加油压力
And feedback from Inner Mongolia
孙建华
and audience from Heilongjiang, Heihe.
非常感恩北京的陈林君还有呢长春的刘春芝他每一次也
And from Inner Mongolia, Huhehout.
缅甸的仰光还有
And feedback
等一下就来到这里更感恩
and feedback from Beijing, Sister Chen Lingjun.
留言那我们台北的
We also from feedback from
上一次留的
Myanmar. Welcome the YT YouTube English feedback.
In which people replaces the things. Right now, I thought to myself. 他就讲到了他的英文老师有一天就在怎么样，就是播放有关于动物被宰杀这样的一个视频。那在这个当下里面呢，他其实也去想到，如果这是人
His English teacher.
心比心那一份的一个感觉。
It's about the animal got slaughtered. So reminds him what if it's a human being get slaughtered.
的确，我们内心的那样的一个病毒，其实是比我们流行性的病毒还要恐怖的。而我们 Chen 呢，他说 agreed a great cause of plantations.
The virus within people's heart is really heart damaging. And the pandemic.
对我们未来是非常有影响的。而我们的我们的 Effie 呢，是马来西亚的 Effie， 他就说Brother Ye is very diligent, hardworking. His dreams to be a pilot is now a reality. As just share, never to underestimate one's petitioner can
Effie is from Malaysia.
Achieving his ambition. 他讲到的就是叶登宪师兄呢，他其实非常的聪明，而且非常的努力，而且他梦想成为怎么样飞行员这件事情，他一直坚持，所以呢，就是真的不要小看人有无限的可能哈。
So talk about Brother Ye is very brilliant.
我们在连线的时候非常感恩，这是雅里跟上人温馨座谈的时候，
Because his persistence.
然后就说每一个人都是素食的代言人，而雅里呢，他上一届满的一个回响，他写的主题说短暂的相聚创造无比。
So when it goes to positive feedback and effect.
是几乎都是1年前之约的，可是却 确是满满的一个正能量。他来到这里，从他进来以后，他就是这样满心的一个欢喜，他觉得
So the feedback from Sister Yali is a short meeting, but create a lot of impact.
经典文稿召集人，他也是觉得说，在去年9月份就跟我们有约了，可是就不停的收到我的一个讯息，然后呢，在近1个月更是频繁。然后来到这里
So from Sister Mei Ling, she wrote a book about the forest
但是其实呢，他可以
knowledge book.
满满的一个能量哈，所以这一本好书哈，子木林森哦，就在他分享的隔天就出版了，我非常感恩，也非
So
常
when
感恩
she said when she do the presentation, she feel very comfortable.
马上的订购了200本，所以我们掌声感恩。
So that's the sharing was the day before the book, her book got published. One day before her book got published.
就是汉文，他就感动心。
So give us 200 books.
他一直是守在我们线上读书会的每个礼拜。
We should all support good book.
还是一直盯着我们的荧幕，都舍不得这样子放弃哦。那同时间呢，他也感觉到说，每一次有被陈情款待，无论他来到了这里多少次。
Brother Hanwen has got very touched and motivated every time he joins the online study group show.
是很不容易的，可是终于来到这里了。来到这里以后，他更是感受到我们整个团队展现的和但一份能量。同时呢，把雅里还有嘉义团队，以及呢我们经典杂志的一个分享，全部呢都写在他这样的一个部分。我们真的非常的感恩，因为
Mr. Ye, when he got rescheduled and rescheduled, finally he come to the stage. He feel the group is very good teamwork.
他们呢就来补充说明有关于呢这样的一个科技环保理论如何去共创美好，共行美好哈。那接下来呢，我们今天呢要到多明尼加去。多明尼加对很多人来讲，其实
So Mr. Wang give the technology for the environmental protection theory.
So today we're going to go to the Dominican Republic, as you can see in the video right here. So for example, in the Dominican Republic, you can see that recently they have been conducting some disaster relief distributions. And as part of this, they've also shared some Jingsi aphorisms on cards to share love not only in the form of the resources we can provide, but also with the Dharma that we can share to help calm people's minds and hearts. Everybody, please take a look at the video. I feel like when I watch these videos, I'm really touched, because here, for example, they have given nurses not only material resources that they need, medical resources they need, but also flowers to give the nurses a form of encouragement in a different way. So let's give them a round of applause. Not only are we giving them material resources and support, but also resources to nourish their mind and their heart, a gift to nourish their mind and their heart. Now, Ciguan has been in the Dominican Republic for more than 20 years now. Have you seen these kids? These kids are from the area that we call the Mountain of Trash. And in this place that they call the Mountain of Trash, we've given the opportunity for these kids to have an education. And you can see here that they've even learned sign language, including the teachers, including the parents. So this kid is saying, we hope to help the kids who don't have any resources. And that parent was sharing that it's such an honor to be able to join Ciguan as an organization. So next here you'll see a local volunteer. She's actually a teacher in school. But what does she do after work? Of course, she becomes a volunteer and really walks into the community, to the places where folks really have even less resources than she herself has, to provide them with love and support. And so there's been a lot of efforts in the Dominican Republic to bring up the local volunteers. Sometimes when you see the locals joining the organization, some people may even question, hey, are they coming in with some sort of ulterior motive? But today we have a chance to listen to some of the stories in the Dominican Republic by the lead of the Ciguan office there. And so in the upcoming video, you'll see a lot of these distributions that are happening as a result of the pandemic, and that's been a familiar sight for a lot of us throughout the world since the pandemic has hit. So we don't have a lot of time, so we can't watch all of the videos, but we will send all of these videos out to the various digital groups we have for everyone to be able to watch the full videos. So a lot of these folks who received the support from Ciguan once again express their deep gratitude to Ciguan for providing them the support they need in this very tough time. So this volunteer right here is sharing that this resident they're helping, she's actually already more than 100 years old. So they're trying to help her however they can. And here you see a distribution in a community where really resources are very scarce. And at the same time, we also use this opportunity to share about vegetarian and the importance of adopting a more vegetarian diet. So we're really grateful for the opportunity to get to hear the stories from another location in the world today. So let's hear from our guest speaker from the Dominican Republic. She is the deputy lead of the Ciguan office in the Dominican Republic. So let's welcome Sister Zhao up to share. So everyone, let's please welcome her up. Hi, welcome. Hola, ¿cómo está? For everyone who's online today, good day. Earlier, what I was saying was, hi, how are you in Spanish? Very, very happy to have been welcomed to today's session to represent the brothers and sisters in the Dominican Republic to share the story of Ciguan in our country. Earlier, Sister Mayun shared that we have actually a time difference of 12 hours. And so you can see it's actually late in the evening for us. But in any case, if you take a look at this slide right here, that beautiful ocean, that's actually in the Dominican Republic. But okay, so a little bit of a communication error here. There we go. Okay, so we're swapping the slides. Here we go.
OK， 全荧幕 your screen， 对，全荧幕好吗？感恩。OK， 好，可以了，继续。
So in 1998, the Dominican Republic was hit by Hurricane Georges, and the damage was very significant. Actually, in the early days, there were a good number of Taiwanese people who were in the Dominican Republic. And so some Cigi volunteers at that time came to do disaster assessment in the places that were hit. Specifically, we went to the area called La Romana, which is in the Eastern Dominican Republic. It's a very, very poor area. And a lot of the locals, they have to rely on pretty much sorting through trash and picking up trash as a ways of making a living. And so that area was actually often referred to as the mountain of trash as well. So as part of working with that community, we decided we want to build a school in this community because Master taught us that education is an important way to escape poverty. And so we were able to build this school here. And with that, in 2000, we were able to complete the first phase of construction. 6 classrooms with some 400 students. And up until the point that at its peak, we actually had upwards of 2,000 or so students. So what do we do at these schools? Aside from distributions of school supplies and uniforms, etc., we also gave something that was very special for the locals. So specifically around Christmas time, we would give these very, very bright red apples. And you think, oh, maybe it's just an apple. What's so special about it? But to a lot of the locals, it's actually a very special gift. Because a lot of the locals, because they're so poor, to even get their hands on an apple is something very difficult. So it's something they cherish a lot. And so we make sure that around Christmas time, we provide this special gift to them. And of course, something that's very important for us to do is to do fundraising when there are disasters around the world. So whenever there have been other disasters outside of the Dominican Republic, we would do fundraising here as well. And you'll see in the photos right here, it's one of our Cigi volunteers conducting the fundraising. And this was actually for Typhoon Morakot, which had hit Taiwan very substantially in 2009. And so some of these kids had this sentiment that, you know, Cigi was the reason I had this opportunity to have an education in my community. I also want to do something for Taiwan, where Cigi is from, and contribute to this fundraiser to help those who were affected by the typhoon. Now, in 2007, the local government actually created a high school that was only about 5 minutes by foot from where our school was built, the Cigi school was built. And so that actually created an opportunity for even further education, because in that area, schools were very, very sparse. Our school was pretty much the only school there. And now with the high school, that gave them further opportunities. And eventually we even expanded to adult classes. And you'll see that this elderly lady in the photo, she said, I came back to try to get my education, despite already being an adult, because I want to learn how to read the Bible, for example. So over the years, what you can see is that the beauty of Dominican Republic has shown through even more vibrantly because of all of the additional blue and white uniforms of Cigi volunteers that have joined. And many of the local volunteers felt strongly that they wanted to be someone not only to receive, but also to give, to help others in need, even though they themselves have so little. And so some of the local volunteers initiated this project, this hot meal project. And so every week they would get together to cook hot meals for some of the elderly and the disabled individuals in the community. And so you see this large pot of rice, right, is to serve about 50 or so elderly people who live on their own. And these folks, these are vegetarian meals, of course. And so it's something that the folks who do receive these meals very much look forward to every week. So Cigi in the community has been an opportunity for a lot of the locals, even though they themselves have so little, to see how much other people are suffering, even more so than perhaps they themselves are. And through that, to learn to cherish their own blessings. So we're so grateful to all of the local volunteers and for them to have picked up the missions of Cigi and to give Cigi an opportunity to continue its journey in the Dominican Republic. We're so grateful to Sister Zhao. And I'd like to make a quick introduction for her. She's actually very important for us in terms of creating a Spanish platform from Cigi. She does translation, for example, for Dharma studies every year, and interacts with the folks who speak, the listeners and the participants who speak Spanish. 团队呢再次一个联系哈，那对口上也都是我们的慈瑶。那目前呢，他们因为疫情的关系呢，人少要做的事情真的非常的多哈，所以呢，我们会把这样的计划是放在心上的。但是我想有心就有愿，一定是可以的。那你看看，从他这样很精短的一个 So in her very short sharing, we can really see that the love of Cigi has always been there and continues to be there in the Dominican Republic. So once again, thank you for coming online. And we hope that in the future we have even more Spanish-speaking countries join on our Dharma study as well. All right, so everyone, please come on your phones and share your comments with us for today's session, and I'll share a few of them here right now as well before we get into our guided reading. So a few comments, including from volunteers from Malaysia, from Northern California, from Shandong and Changchun in China, and even Brother Huang Tengde, who is in New York at the moment. Now, Lim from Malaysia also says hi. We have family members from Xi'an in China as well. And then Sister Chen Meiyu from Taipei. And then more volunteers from Malaysia, from Japan, and a number of family members from New York. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Looking forward to yet another wonderful sections of Kaohsiung book study. And then Dr. Deng from Singapore as well shared his comments in English. Who is also part of the translation team from Singapore and Malaysia. And this is another sharing from a volunteer in Beijing, in China. So everyone, you can definitely see that we are very much a global platform where so many people from different places in the world come and listen in. Now, next, we're going to move to our guided reading. everyone who is online, good day. Today, we're going to go through the progression for March 1st to March 8th. And a lot of the content is related to the COVID-19 pandemic. The master tells us that the pandemic has actually been something that's given us a lot of profound teachings, considering everything that is going on. So today our topic is to learn to cherish our blessings and to gather good thoughts and intentions by clearly seeing and observing the world around us, using it almost as a mirror to reflect upon ourselves. So in the book, you may have read that Zimbabwe, it's a very bad situation in many ways. The economy continues to be on a downturn. There are droughts, there have been floods, and then a lot of people simply don't have the resources they need. It is a strong lack of resources there, to the point that folks don't even have regular meals or clean water. In total, there are some 16 million people in the nation, and of those 16 million, 5 million people don't have enough food to eat and need food aid. In the book, it also mentions that for a lot of these folks who don't have food to eat, what do? They go find these nests of ants or termites and attract these termites up out of their nests and eat them for sustenance. And so let's take a look at this video of Master sharing about what we just described. So Master says, there are so many suffering people in the world. In Zimbabwe, they don't even have salt to use with their food. And being as hungry as they are, they find these termite mounds. And so these termites will crawl up, for example, these little stems that they use. And then at the point where they gather enough of these termites, they'll bake them. And if you don't have salt, you can only drink water and then just sleep, right? So you see these ants coming up this stick, this makeshift stick. And then they'll put that stick in a cup and then just cook the termites, which is terrible in so many ways. For them to have to do that to eat, and also, of course, for the termites themselves as well. So in the video, we saw this villager saying, man, because of how much we lack resources and not having salt, the only thing we can eat is by finding these termites. And then when there's not enough to eat, they can only just drink water. But even to drink water, they don't have any clean water sources. So what they do is go to look for this groundwater that is very much dirty, as you can see in the photos right here. So to have even one regular meal or one clean drink of water, to them is something that's very extravagant. So let's take a look at this next video right here. They need water, but where can they find water? They go to these underground sources where the water is extremely dirty. Now, for us to see this, if that can awaken our conscience, and if we can therefore be more conservative in our use of our water, save water drop by drop, and save our money penny by penny, then there is a lot that we can do for these folks. This local sharing, I'm so happy because from when I woke up to right now, I had nothing to eat. And now when I go home, I can eat. And this volunteer or this local shares that the kids are so happy to know that they can finally have something to eat. And this is, of course, at a distribution where Ciji is handing out, I believe, rice to the locals. And the caption says, 1 grain of rice can exchange 100 different types of smiles from this community. Think about how much they are suffering and then reflect upon ourselves and how we are carrying out our own lives. So let us all reflect upon this deeply and elevate our love. We have the ability to take action. Okay, thank you to Master for sharing. Yes, if we can save water drop by drop, money penny by penny, and if we build all of that up, there is so much we can do for those who are suffering. In seeing their suffering, we can realize how many blessings we have and truly learn to cherish our blessings. So you can see that in the video, a lot of locals received the resources and the rice from Ciji, and you could see how happy the locals were. Maybe it's the happiest they've ever been in their lives. Recently, I saw another sharing by Master. And so let's take a look at this video right here. And so the captions are on screen. Once again, let's thank Master for her blessing, for the 7.8 billion people in this world. There is such a big divide between those of us who have enough and those of us who don't. Whereas some of us can have regular meals and always have a full stomach, others may not know where their next meal is going to come from. And so for those of us perhaps in better conditions, we can consider eating just until we're 80% full and use the remaining 20% to help others in need. And more importantly, it's important for us to gather and collect our positive thoughts and intentions, and in this way, create blessings for the world. So especially in the pandemic, we talk about the importance of washing our hands, but in addition to being mindful to wash our hands, we also want to be mindful of our water usage. So it is critical to wash our hands, and it is also critical to be conservative in our use of water. And water comes in many forms. For example, Dharma water is something that we need in our lives and in our hearts. And with Dharma water to nourish our hearts, we have the opportunity to wipe away the impurities in our minds. In facing the external circumstances of the world, many times we can feel so helpless as individuals. But through the pandemic, we can really see that there are so many great and profound lessons and teachings that we can learn. And so hopefully through today's teaching, we have learned a few lessons as well and can learn to cherish our own blessings and bring good to others who are in need. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for our guided reading for exactly 10 minutes. Yeah, if you are in our group, you can see our instantaneous transfer of this information. We have 8 line groups and 7 WeChat groups. So we are enlightened people, and we want to pass down the Dharma. We're using technology to pass the Dharma. Please use your computer or your cell phone to pass your comments. Yeah. So not only to the material supplies, the spiritual care is also important, as the Dominican volunteer says. This comment says, even though he's always here, but he's always enjoying coming here because of the positive energy here. Yeah, we always meet on Wednesday. I wish everyone safe and peace. And thanks, Jie from Tainan. And thanks, another one from Dominican Republic. Thanks to Sister Meiyin. She's from Burma. This comment is about Teacher Meiyin. Sounds very peaceful and calm, not so fast as before. Yeah, I want to remind everyone that I used to be the master of ceremony for the Buddha Bathing Festival, so I could slow down. Brother Wei Mu, thanks for your comment. Yeah, our name is called Kaohsiung Online Book Study. Sister Liu Chen from Changchun, thank you for your comment. Let's applaud for comments from Changchun, and thanks to all people who gave us encouraging comments. Now we have the seasonal star coming. Do you know why it's called seasonal heart? Actually, the heart has the same sound as star. So it's the star of each season, each quarter. Yeah, in the old days, I was hoping that if we can have one big, good speaker every season, every quarter would be wonderful. And now we have the director from the Ciguan Hospital in Taipei, so we hope to have more speakers from the Ciguan hospitals. So today we have Sister Zhiling and the Brother Chen, but Brother Chen is in New York, so we have Sister Zhiling coming here to speak to us. See, Zhiling, sister, is a person that everyone wants to say wonderful when you are with her. Even though you may have never met her before, but she will make you feel very comfortable, like you have known her for a long time. Here's her. So she's promoting environmental protection. And even she's saying one sentence, she has a lot of emotions and feelings. Yeah, whenever she's there, anywhere, she would say, welcome here, welcome here. She's working for Ciguan, not only in New York, but also in Taiwan. This is the graduation ceremony for the Ciguan Technology College. And you can see her portion shown at the ceremony. Well, the most valuable thing I value is the love from the Ciji father and mother. And this is Sister Zhiling right next to this graduate. And she said love needs to be courageously expressed out. This graduation ceremony is the 30th graduation. The scene is very magnificent, and everyone is courteous and following the manners. There are manners and rules, and they follow them so well. And you can see at the Jingsi Hall, the scene is very touching. This is the graduate from Malaysia. This is her mom. I was worried that my daughter had never left me before. I didn't want her to come to Taiwan, but then I found out her Ciji mother, Sister Zhiling, takes such a good care of my daughter, and I know my daughter is not lonely there in Taiwan. So let's welcome this Ciji mother, Sister Zhiling, with applause. Let's applaud to welcome her. We are very grateful. With this platform here, we're able to invite so many great speakers to share what they have done with everyone. Maybe you don't know her very well. From today's sharing, you will know about her and all those heroes behind the scenes in Ciji. Wherever she is, she brings her love to every place. See, because of her personality, she's got so many supporters coming to Kaohsiung to support her sharing. Some are from Thailand, some are from Nantou, and some from California. Yeah, if you are going to UC Berkeley, come to visit her. In Ciji, you have a lot of role models. Their Wan Miao, that means 10,000 Wonders Foundation. They already had the foundation, but after they joined Ciji, they are able to do a lot more and touching more people. You can see the ambulance and the ambulance donated by the Wan Miao Foundation. So, Brother Chen De, even though you are in New York, we want to wave hi to you. Yeah, let's wave hi to Brother Chen De in New York. We miss you here. We know you don't intentionally miss this opportunity. Okay, let's give the time to our favorite Sister Zhiling and applaud to welcome her. Master, Dharma masters at Debo, and all Ciji families around the world, and also the audience here. Good day. I am Guo Zhiling. My Dharma name is Ming Li. My husband's name is Chen De, and thanks to the Kaohsiung book study inviting me here. Today, my sharing topic is 10,000 wonderfully good karma. because my parents gave me so many good things and teaching. Oh, my father's name is Wan. My father's name has a Wan in it, and my mother's name has a Miao in it. So putting their two words together is 10,000 wonders. Their one donation is able for me to do a lot of good things. When we found out that if you donate $1 for Ciji, your money can go long and far. That's why to do good things, donate money to Ciji. When I was young, I went to the Philippines and I found two things. Number one, when we visited the cemetery, we noticed that the offsprings built beautiful cemetery for their parents. That's why the first thing I learned in Philippines is you cannot wait to do good deeds, and you have filial piety to parents while they are alive. And number two, I want to promote sutra study for children's education in the virtual development. Number three, I'm very grateful that my parents gave me 2 houses. When I sell them, I can support a small foundation for 30 years. And I started planning for action. I thought for 5 years and finished in 1 month while I was in New York. And thanks to a lot of helpers, I was able to found this foundation in New York in November of 2009, so 11 years. My father was born in an extremely poor family. He lost his dad at a very young age. On his brother's way back from collecting garbage, his pants were flushed by flooding creek water. And I can always remember my grandma's sad and upset expression whenever she mentioned about this. Because of the poor family, my father had to quit study after high school to earn a living in Taipei at the tea shop. My mother's father ran a tea mountain, so he married his daughter to my dad. My mother has 5 women virtues. Number 1, selfless. The day after wedding, the debt collectors came and she helped. And respect elders. My mom helped my grand-uncle to collect his interest. Mom always cooked good meals for elders and gave the interest that my grand-uncle wanted to collect at that time. Number 3, my mom had to my mom was very accommodating and respectful. She respected her mother-in-law and her parents. Wow. So my mom had to cook everything for my grandma, her mother-in-law, and then rushed to go home to take care of her own parents, and then rush back. Her 4th virtue is compassionate and kind to others. She's always, there's a voiceless young woman. Mom always gave her 50% off. We moved to Taipei from Sanxia when I was 9. And Mom was taking care of her in-laws. So her fifth virtue is treasure the relationship among in-laws. She took care of her sister-in-laws. And these are all the virtues I learned from Mom. Wonderful karma of entering Ciji. My parents gave me perfect examples. They were born in the same family. They are always sincere and kind to people, so their business went well. Some people recruit honorary board members of Ciji, so my parents donate $1 million. The whole family became Ciji members. In childhood, I would risk being spanked to buy bread for neighboring kids. Yeah, my parents taught us to have additional loving kindness and universal compassion. The whole family became Ciji members. I was willingly spanked to buy bread for neighbor kids. My husband was a Ciji member very early. When I delivered twins, Mom took care of me when I stayed at the hospital to recover from the operation. My husband used my parents' name to donate hospital beds. My training team lead encouraged me into Ciji. So this is about blessing of entering Ciji. Master's 静思语, 静思aphorism says parents are the models of children. Teachers are the examples of children. Respect teachers and his teachings. My husband has been 43 years Ciji commissioner and the Faith Corp. Emigrate to New York for children's education. Going away, here's the going away party in Taipei. On the left, Ciji volunteers expressed their blessings to our kids before they came to the U.S. And on the right, you can see right away, we report to Ciji and settle down. The kids are helping me sweeping the floor and rubbing the floor. After settling down, I invite brothers and sisters coming to my home. And here is footprints in the community. You can see the winter distribution, 300 lamps for U.S. Ciqing camp. Yeah, on the lower left. When I brought them to New Jersey, you made such beautiful blessing lamps. So they want to bring one sample to show Master how beautiful the blessings. And here we also did a fundraising party and disaster relief. Yeah, our Dharma Master Zheng Yan is the best role model for us. to show compassion and love to people all over the world. More footprints in community. Here is to set up for events on the left and encourage fundraising Pusa, Bodhisattvas with love. See, moving furnitures and furniture for survivors. And roadside fundraising. Walking from Ciji to the world. Cijing camp activity on the left. Cijing joined the UN. Encourage them to build more blessings. Here's my daughter performing a dance during the nursing home visits. And it happened that a reporter was there, so it was on the newspaper the next day. On the upper right is our activities at the Happy Campus. Oh, yeah, that's why my daughter was reported by the World Journal newsman. 10,000 Wonder built good karma. Because of love from Wan Miao net to global 5 continents. From New York, South America in America, and Asia, Europe, Africa, and Australia. So 5 continents. And international disaster relief with the support of many benefactors. And the sister in Atlanta helped my kid found a job in Atlanta. My son joined the Ciji annual blessing when she was only 1 year old. Now he's going to UC Berkeley. Guanru. And you can see he joined the book study in Taiwan. And these are the volunteers at Jingsi bookstore. Guanru is going to report to UC Berkeley on November 24th. Okay, please stand up to show us. Yeah, let's wish him the very best, and we'll be a diligent Ciji volunteer. And these are my brothers and sisters who are here too. 10,000 Wonders built good karma. These are hosting commissioners to be from Ecuador, and they are role models of filial piety. They also welcome overseas volunteers. Yeah, you can see Brother Victor and Sister Janet. They're on the lower left photo. We want to give them our best wishes for the commissioners to be from Ecuador. Yeah, we also send them to the airport. Here, more photos about how Wan Miao Foundation welcome overseas volunteers in these photos. A sister in New York is anti-drugs and anti-poison. This sister Zhiling is from Kaohsiung. When she was visiting New York, she stayed with a sister there. She majors in arts. It's very good at painting. So when she came to Taiwan, I asked her to teach the children painting. This is Northern California sister. They came to Wan Miao Foundation to rehearse for their performance. Here, 10,000 Wonder built good karma. Okay, these are Buddhism in the world, build the value of life with actions, using example of Ciguan volunteers worldwide. So I wrote the stories of 12 Ciguan volunteers worldwide. So I'm very grateful to Master to teach all volunteers in Ciguan, and where I'm able to write the stories of these 12 bodhisattvas. Very grateful for their sharing and for their help to make this possible. When I prepared this PPT, I realized, we actually have done a lot. The 12 Ciguan volunteers are Brother Chen from Jordan, Brother Hu from Turkey, and South Africa, Brother Peng, Mozambique, Sister Tsai, and Brother Chen from Germany, Australia, Paraguay, and the US, Philippines, Malaysia, and China. So here are the community development activities: interior design DIY, and jello making workshop, and 4 treasures of healthy life. And we have many activities that's global because we can do it online. Our Wan Miao Foundation started in 2009. Our missions are improve education quality and enrich education resources. Number 1 is to encourage families to read cultural sutra and masterpieces at home, school, and community. Promote precious traditional Chinese culture, improve overall quality and language ability. And we also want to environmental protection DIY workshops and scholarship for children with single parents. Here are examples of the activities: the farming experience at Brother Ho's rice farm in Taichung, right here. These kids they have to use wheelchairs, but they are very wonderful. My father went to the train station to pick him up, and so my father is his Ciguan grandpa. Even though he cannot go to the farm to help with the farming, but he also wanted to visit the farm. Look at the banquet Brother He provided for us. We not only learned how to farm and how difficult the rice grains were harvested, but also enjoy the farming meal. In 2017, we had a concert, and after the concert, the volunteers all came to our foundation. They also shared the concert, and we gave them a book and hand handkerchiefs from the Jingsi bowl masters as presents to them. And these are how we share the international disaster relief. These are all the disasters that I have been to: Sandy, Harvey, and in Hebei, China, Mexico, Ecuador, Burma, and the free medical clinic in Ecuador, as well as in Mexico. Of course, the more you do, the more you gain. I learned a lot from these disaster reliefs. Here's an example I want to share. This is this gentleman in wheelchair took us in his home to introduce us to his father. His mom worked very hard because his father complained a lot. So I asked him, "Are you grateful to your parents?" He said, "Yeah." Then I said, "If you are grateful, then you should smile." So I can sing you a song, and then you only have to smile as I sing it. So now I'm going to sing. Wife, wife, I love you. Buddha, Buddha, protect you. Wish you have a good health. Always healthy and happy. The father's eyes were shining with laughter, and the mother was laughing too. And this wonderful scene left in their heart, and I also brought the scene back home. So even for people who cannot move voluntarily, we can still tell them that they can find happiness in other areas of life. These are our sutra study, and you can see they can make the puppet on fingers. The children made this with love. Don't underestimate, don't look down yourself, because everyone has potential. We also have lots of activities. Here are the teacher taught them this is our craftsman workshop. These are the rice bags that they reuse them to make them into wonderful bags. And with those bags, we were able to raise money for Ciguan. Lots of love. We also made 600 finger puppets. This is Brother Hu Guangzhong from Turkey on the lower left. See the big suitcase is filled with all great love products. Our music workshop, the teacher would take the students to nursing home to comfort those seniors. These are calligraphy workshop. The teacher also had some shows in the Jingshi Hall. And this is the Chinese painting workshop. And this is the book study, cultural book study. Teacher Cho is the cultural book study teacher. And on the left, you can see a whole list of the books we have read. And for every book study, we have a vegetarian meal. And you can also carry a box for your lunch at work tomorrow, the next day, to welcome more people coming to the book study. When Brother Hu Guangzhong came to visit us to our book club, and his parents came to his sharing in our book club. So I asked him, did your parents come to your sharing? He said, no, this is the first time. So I'm very honored that his parents came to our book club. This is a caregiver of my father from Indonesia. Before she went back to Indonesia, we had a party for her. So we told her, if you open a restaurant cooking wan miao, fried rice noodle, you will earn a lot of money. And these are diligent cultivate blessings and obtain wisdom from wondrous Dharma. Bodhisattva supported various fundraising events in the past years, and we fulfilled 10 honorary board members in the Wan Miao family. I want to thank to the connection and links from parents to me. We all joined Ciji and built Wan Miao, then working together in harmony. And we're grateful that our kids all graduate from school and they all have jobs. Even at the pandemic, they still kept their jobs. So I want to continue to do Ciji until I'm 90. So blessings of entering the Ciji world, Master's Jingsi aphorism. Blessing comes from the joy of contributing. Wisdom comes from the freedom of understanding. Entering the Ciji world. 4 missions and 8 Dharma footprints. Wonderful spiritual cultivation on the Bodhi path. As long as you have loving kindness and compassion, are willing to give with joy, all people welcome you. Sisters cultivated to be commissioners. Brothers be faith corps. The whole world has Ciji members. Why are we so blessed to enter the Ciji world? Unity, harmony, mutual love, concerted effort, Ciji teams complete us. Ciji world, global volunteers. Ciji volunteers over the world, under the guidance of Master, build wonderful karma with all beings. Wow, wonderful. She put up these words into a very popular Chinese song. So this is the time we're going to distribute the books in these reworked book bags for everyone. Yeah, we can all feel this positive energy to the fullest extent. See, all people who have the fortune to meet her can feel, can be influenced by the positive energy. See, her kids are already sending comments to say 加油, that means cheers. She is really a bodhisattva that everyone loves whenever they see her. So let's applaud and thank Sister Zhiling. So please return to your seat.
我在这边的同时呢，也请主场的家人做一件事。你们现在其实拿到的其实是我们。
Okay, this is Liangong translating for you right now from Northern California.
子琳师姐啊，真的是非常的用心。她就是一个走到哪里都要跟我们结好缘的。所以你有没有看到福多一点？所以呢，就是会跟主场的家人
this is some calligraphy
结好缘的这个部分。
that to be shared with
主场的家人
the audience.
家人您可以到各大书轩，虽然这
And it's also come with the book,
可是经过了3年，这个
a very popular book by our Taipei Ciguan Hospital's superintendent.
所以呢，在这个时候，我们请主场的家人拿起这本书，好不好？我们即将后面可以拿高高，我们即将
We are going to take a picture with the book.
那个团队，你们旁边的站台都没有处理哎，雪玉旁边那个站手指都没有处理哈。那我们主场拍照的同时，我同时
So at the same time,
回应哈。
I want to read some feedback.
后面的家人，麻烦你们站起来，这样才能够。
Okay, we are going to take a picture.
后面的，请团队处理好不好？我要处理线上，我没办法在那。然后你们的手指头站全部都没有出去，在四周围用最快的速度哈。好，那我们非常感恩哦。他说我是马来西亚一个小岛。
Feedback from Malaysia.
谢谢鸡蛋岛的 Han， 还有
one from Taichung in Taiwan.
高雄县长读书会真的很优质，还有非常感恩重庆
Also from China.
上线了，还有我们头号粉丝李国家是在前阵的。那在这
And someone from Canada.
管心灵师姐说：闻声救苦，兼并心灵抚慰，教育脱贫，启发人人的爱心。多米尼加的自
They have a good feedback that the Dominicans are sharing.
好，马来西亚新山的 Sharing， 谢谢你们。还有多米尼加呢，图丘话就多米尼加的菩萨。
Also,
师姐哈，那我们
a sister from Dominican Republic.
他们一份爱哈。有我们前几天的时候，辛巴威的朱钦才还刚跟我联络哈，所以呢，现在不是8分饱，实际说我们7分饱就好，赶紧用3分来援助哈。那这边呢，我们的素莲师姐说真的感恩见苦知福哈。好，主场的家人请把书就收回来喽。那我们的
also a person from Thailand.
有人警喻意识，有人钓蚂蚁吃，真该起善念哈。那因为呢，我们子琳来的因缘，所以我们来看一下我们慈管师姐。好，我们泰国的慈管师姐上一次。
Okay, next we'll be introducing our next speaker, Sister Ciguan.
但是现在大家看到画面上又是一份爱的传承。其实慈管师姐无论是在台湾、在泰国，甚或呢在辽国，在很多
You can see her
他们做的都是国际赈灾。那因为这
in many different countries.
在台湾，那同时也是我们线上读书会的忠实的书友，他每一次在线上给我们最及时的一个回馈哈，所以我们真的非常感恩。那从这一则影音，你可以知道人与人之间的互动是可以如此的一个紧密。那今天呢，因为我看到他的名单是随着子琳的亲友团前来，我马上就给他一个小小的任务，但是我说我给你的时间不能多，只能5分钟的时间。为什么？因为这一段时间呢，他用他科技的方式来。
And recently, she has been promoting vegetarianism.
方式把它传出去，所以我们真的非常感恩哈。所以从画面上我们就可以看到这一位菩萨的身影。那因为他只有短短的5分钟而已，所以我们要热烈掌声来欢迎我们泰国的
Sister Ciguan from Thailand.
每次呢就在给我们 脸书上回应的持管师姐，请感恩。是。
Thanks to Sister Mei. And greetings to all. My name is Youcheng. Zhao gave me the Dharma name being Ciguan. This March, when I came back to Taiwan, I see Shangren was concerned a lot with the pandemic, and the only cure would be vegetarianism. And because of pandemic, many countries are locked down. So it will be hard to reach out to my friends. When I ask my friend to join being vegetarian, and they say they are not good in cooking vegetarian food. So from about 10 years ago, I start share Jing's aphorism with my friend with some local pictures. One aphorism every day to my friends. So I will also including other learning or something that taught me in the sharing. I've been to Liao also quite a few times. So I also joined their online groups. And I share with them my vegetarian cooked dishes. I usually cook in 10 minutes. So it's easy to do. And now it seems like I become a veggie cook. But actually, you know what? There is a trick that you need to utilize internet resources. Dharma TV has a lot of vegetarian cooking classes, and also something like a pickup line, which has more than 3 million subscribers and very popular. It's in English. And then you also have some Chinese website that you can Google and then find them. And there are a lot of good resources how to cook. And Because of time, this is to show you that a key success to your vegetarian diet is that being balanced. Yeah. So I also share with many of my friends my cookbooks. So you can also follow me on WeChat or online or on Facebook. Yeah, thank you, Sister Peng.
讲话慢的人其实是比较有说服力的，好，所以他基本上慢慢的说，挺有说服力的，而且我们的
So we will share with you her PowerPoint, so you can you can receive her PowerPoint in Facebook.
讲多一点字，好不好？所以非常感恩马来西亚霹雳安顺的邱顺。
Yeah, we thank her very much. Sorry for the time crunch.
纽约记忆在纽约支持见证，在这边，然后时间就说啊，庄严的义德爸妈哈，非常
So there's
他说
a few more feedbacks.
还有来自南京，感恩线上家人精准的10分钟精彩的分享，你们守时。间这件事让我们无限的赞叹，见证每位慈济家人都是全球的付出。黄一家问候子琳妈妈 ，Go Go！
A few more feedback to Sister 子琳。
还有亲友团在云端也来陪伴哦。好，所以时间在讲 ，Christopher Huang 他说妈妈加油 ，Christopher 好，所以非常的感恩。子琳今天讲话特别的庄严哦。速度温柔多多，哎，你们是来到这里突然要这样子吗？去影响我一点，我今天要讲慢一点吗？好，非常的感恩。所以邀约大家真的是一起来苏醒哈。那2003年 SARS 其实对我们的赵有成院长也是超有感的，因为当时间他其实有担任要职在这个部分，可是最近啊，就是上人请讲，有一个人在因为疫情的关系呢。其实让我们超有感，我们来听这一段。
怎么样吃素吃得健康，对身心灵都会变得更好。那我想慈济能够投入到。
This is our health organization's lead in Taiwan, and he speak very highly of what Tzu Chi has been promoting vegetarianism, which is good for health and also for the control of the pandemic. And I also noticed that Tzu Chi has been still very active in this time of pandemic. So I want to share my respect.
我们感恩我们的陈时中部长为我们这样的一个见证跟呼吁，让我们一起说导播 take 画面那个点好不好？我们一起说，非素不可，非说不可，非。
So it's important that we become vegetarian and we try to promote it.
上人亲自为他受上我们慈济仁医会这个部分，他也愿意利用他公暇时间去哦，所以可能以后会跟着赵院长一起去做这样的一件好事。那接下来就是我们活络筋骨健康成绩，掌声欢迎我们的活动组团队。
Okay, now let's exercise a little bit.
团队今天大医王全部出现了，是的，是的，好的，哇！亲爱的家人，大家好。
Hi everyone.
欢迎大家来到速战速决。今天我们的单元呢，就是人医人素专访哦。上个月呢，我们的名人素食专访啊，得到很大的回响。
So today.
我们特别邀请到全球最有名的心脏科内外科医师啊，他们都茹素哎，这个有。
we will be interview
首先我要呢来专访
A U.S. doctor has been vegetarian for more than 50 years, and he is more than 100 years old now. Now he can still. Welcome, Dr. Welcome.
麦克风有啦，有吗？是。
And the mic has some problem.
哇，维海医师，我们换一个麦克风。
Okay, I still have my clear mind, and I'm as healthy as a young person. And after I adopted vegetarianism, then I realized that I can live to be more than 100 years old.
Was trying to play as Dr. Welcome. And he said he is still very clear. So when he decided to become vegetarian, he knew that he can live to more than 100 years old. The next doctor that we are going to interview is from mainland China. He's the first one to promote the vegetarianism in the hospital.
大家好，如果再不改变舌尖上的中国，将会变成病床上的中国。
And he says that we cannot just follow the taste. Otherwise, we will get ourselves sick. So it's important that we try the vegetarian diet. And next is Dr. Wei Minghu.
事实彻底的实现是人类健康唯一的选择。
And then he is one of the top 10 doctors in China, and then he also promotes vegetarianism. So it's important that we promote this to our family and also our community. And finally, and then Dr. Lin Junlong is Medical Missions CEO. And he says that being vegetarian, we can become healthier and make the earth healthier too. So we need to respect life. So the well-being of the earth will be the well-being of all human beings. So there are some chronic illness which all come from non-vegetarian diet. So important to preserve our health, that we want to be vegetarian. So first, before a meal, remember that we need to wash our hands, especially at this time. Just exercise a little bit, okay? You can just follow it and to exercise a little bit. Because of the next speaker, next few speaker will be very inspiring. Yeah, so exercise a little bit now. So when we wash hands, we want to do that thoroughly to make it clean before our meal. Even between the fingers, you need to wash that cleanly. So after wash your hand, make sure that you also clean the faucet at the same time. Must be vegetarian. Okay, next we are going to sing the happy song called Loved by All. We need to love ourselves. When we love ourselves, people will love us as well. So love ourselves. You can just follow it and then to exercise a little bit. Love yourself. People will love you too. We love ourselves is actually a way to love others. Just follow it. Okay.
讲非素不可，
Just
非
we all
素
love
不
vegetarian.
可。平安健康推素的人请坐下，耶！祝福大
Thank you all.
家。好，非常感恩我们活络身心的活动团队哈。那么呢，在这边的时候呢，我们心中有这里王清美就说，子玲师姐总是以行动、以爱关怀友人。20年前是子玲
a few more
师姐将
feedbacks
实际的爱带给我们，
from
感恩
Facebook.
有您以慈济大爱之心让世界充满爱，所以真的是心中有爱，人见人爱哈。那我们画面上呢，其实大家看到这个善效应都是大陆。
So many feedback are from mainland China, actually.
掌声哈。他们呢是上线最踊跃呢，同时呢有时候上班族，但是他们愿意看回播，然后并且写这样满满的一个上效应。那我们的山东马安林师兄其实是我们10月28号上线的分享嘉宾。那当时呢他上线去分享的就是有古捐这个部分，他说非常感恩在这个平台里面让他去回忆起也分享起，同时呢他听到当天的美国北加州执行长谢明进的一个分享，这样的一个森林大火的时候，他也觉得我们真的是要非常努力的去有一个很正确的观念，然后来吃素爱地球哈。那同时间呢，我们看到我们的烟絮哈，西安的烟絮非常谢谢你，您几乎是每一周给我们，并且把每一位讲师所提及的全部呢都是点到，然后让我们知道说你非常关注非常多人的一个分享哈。那在这里的时候呢，你也提到了山东安林的马师兄这一个部分哈。那即便他们同在大陆，也不见得都有看过，但是听过这个人，所以他们同时间透过平台看到，他们觉得非常感恩。那同时，我们先用掌声感恩2位新的伙伴，南博新以及魏丽，这是我们的西安的家人。那
new member that's welcome them there from Xi'an, China.
所以呢，当他第一次去了解到说上人心目中理想人才的时候，他觉得非常的一个震撼。
When the new member heard that Ciguan Master's ideal person of Ciguan, she was very touched.
熟悉到很多分享者，也觉得非常的棒。我们的西安的魏丽，他们说每一次只要看到我们的直播，就觉得充满了欢喜哈。虽然
Here's another person from Xi'an, and every time she heard the book club online, she was very emotional and she enjoyed very much. Here's another feedback from China.
善效应的这一个部分哦，所以他觉得来到线上读书会像在
He say, come to the book club is like finding treasure. You never know what you're going to find, but he always finds something fun. And this is the call out to China.
那大陆的这个地方呢，其实大家看一下哈，因为我们今天要去的这个
Today we're going to visit Kunshan, China.
非常感恩他们跟我们的因缘，是我们海外第一个在实验的时候就跟我们连在一起的。所以呢，在我们2岁的时候，他们就拍了这样的一个视频哦。
When the book club was into the second year, they contacted us, and this is our 5th year anniversary, and this is a greeting from Kunshan. They are preparing a sign language and sending us the congratulation greeting online. Happy 5-year anniversary.
好，这就是我们呢的昆山的家人哈，在我们5岁生日的时候拍下视频。那平常他们就是这样子连线，大家有没有看到主场的一个状况？他们就我们做什么，他们
this is how they connected to us. Whatever we do online,
不过现在因为疫情的关系，
they can see from the other
家里连线哈，所以呢，我们做什么，他跟着我们
continent, and then they join us and communicate with us online.
串联这样的一个心情故事哈。那7岁生日的时候呢，他们
And this is the 7th year anniversary.
那因为那时候已经疫情了，
They make a video clip to wish us happy 7th year anniversary.
目前我们线上读书会有43位的家人，
And there are
高雄读书会感恩。
3 members
这里
online
是昆山
from
慈济
Kunshan.
户外3线上读书会，在线
There
家
are
人呢共有
73 people
73
online
位，
currently.
共同祝福高雄电子书线上读书会7周岁生日快乐！
And here are all the family from
自
Kunshan.
度度人，一生无量， 爱洒人间，感恩。
好，我们非常感恩我们的昆山的家人哈，那他们马上给我
回雨又低温初春，江苏昆山慈济惊讶园区一辆大货车慢慢开进仓库。
这次是我们慈济时代事业基金会第二到那个黄冈指挥部的那个紧急需求了。
During the pandemic, the Kunshan
储存了大量的毛毯
places they
所以这一块呢，我们
deliver a lot of blankets for people who are in need.
黄冈的罗田。
好，我们让视频这样跑着哈。其实呢，我们在这样的一个疫情下呢，从一开始到现在，我们慈济人无论在哪里呢，爱都一直在。
Doesn't matter where you at, whenever there are Tzu people, there are love. And even Kunshan is pretty far from us, but they are still doing whatever they can to help people. Here's another positive energy from Kunshan, our Kunshan family.
昆山的家人来练功牧会，感恩你们，请上界。好，感恩。好，请说了。
敬爱的上人
And this is Brother Chen and Sister Zhao.
慈济家人，大家好，我是昆山慈济志工陈练功，上人是我法号记号。
我是昆山慈济志工中牧会，上人赐我法号慈木。
我先来分享慈济昆山金雅园
Let
区
me tell you how this Kunshan Park started.
好，来，对不起，师兄，你们简报是不是要自己放？刚才的默契还是由我们这边？
我们马上放。
好，那你要转过去简报，我们已经共享平台给你们了，感恩哦，谢谢。
我们是在当地运用各种项目还活动。
The City Park has always been the direction of Kunshan volunteers' long-term effort to recruit volunteers.
这样的初心，我们引进了创客的项目，尤其是
And
昆
Kunshan
山有
has
这么大
a
的场地可
very
以耕耘，
big
同时上人期
land,
许我们昆山志工们
and we
要
all
守好这
want
块
to
捐献出来
utilize
的
this
土地。
land.
在
In
2019年年
2019,
中，
at the
由吴杰师
invitation
兄
of
的邀
Brother
约，
Wu,
到上海
they
与
went to
冷建明师兄和姚
Shanghai
琴师
to
姚
meet with
石青师
Brother
姐碰面，
Len
交流如
Jiaming
何
and
规划
Sister
这个园
Yao
区。
Shiqing
师兄
how
建
to
议
plan
以
more
美国过
activity
去
in
分
this
会
park.
初期的经验，需要在园区内把一个一个的活动办起
And
来。
people
扎
suggest
扎
that
实
based
实
on
的
the
让
early
大人小孩
experience of
到
the
园
US
区
branch,
来
they
有
need to
事做、
organize
有收
activity
获，
in the park
自然
so
愿意
that
邀慈济
adults and
来。
children
这
can
也
come
是
to the
美国
park.
分会初期的发展过程。在这段期间，与冷师兄接触讨论了2、3个月。
And I've been
但有一
communicating with
天， 我接到
Brother
冷师兄的微
Len.
信照片，他站在同济大学
Brother
Fablab
Len
实验室的门
attended a
口与
conference
丁
in
教授
Taiwan
合
and
照。
met the reporter.
他拜访了同济大
He
学
recommended
丁
Professor
教授，
Ding
这是他在台
and
湾参加一个
MIT
科
Fat
技
Lab
会议
Lab
的时
in
候遇到的一
Shanghai.
个报社记者，向他推荐上海的丁教授及 MIT Fablab 实验室。看到这个讯息时，我立刻回冷师兄。 我们可以
And
跟
when
这
I
个
saw
实验
this
室建立关
message,
系吗？然
I
后引进
contact
昆
Brother
山。
Len and
他
say,
回答我
I
试
want
试
to
看。
visit him.
再来，经过2个月，丁教授正好与苏州科
After
技
2
局有一
months,
个合作的
Professor
项
Ding
目要
happened
完
to
成，
have a cooperation
选在
project
昆
with
山杜
Suzhou
杜克大
Science
学
and
做结束
Technology
的课
Bureau
程及演讲。
to
我与
complete.
吴杰师
He
兄
chose
正
to
好
give
就
the
近
final
到杜克
course
大
and
学与
lecture
丁
at
教授
Duke
见面，
Kunshan
并且邀
University.
请他到那个昆山园区来，而且也与丁教授约好到同济的 Fablab 实
And
验
we
室
all
去
met
参
at
访。
Tongji's Fat
后
Lab
来到了上海
Laboratory
的 Fablab 实
and
验
visit
室
the laboratory
去
in
拜访。
Shanghai.
那就这样到了学期末，在过年的时候，我接到丁教授的微信，问我有没有兴趣参加他们在举办的那个
I saw the
海峡
WeChat
两岸青
message
少
from
年创客比赛。
Professor Ding
然后在那个夏
asked if
天，
we
我就
want
陪丁
to
教授回花莲
attend
慈济
the
参访慈济大学、
competition
慈科
of
大及高
maker.
中小学，回到昆山促成了海峡两岸创客比赛的举办。在这段期间，一并邀约了中
So
部会师姐一起参与。
I thought of
因为
Sister
他在
Zhou
台协
Muhui
与政府
interaction
都有
with the
互动，
government and the
就把
Taiwan
我们的想法及
Association
推进的情况跟
and
木木会师
explain
姐
our
说
idea
明，
and
邀约
progress
他
to
一起参与
Sister
我们
Zhou
的工
Muhui
作。接
and
下来
invite
请木
her
会
to
师姐分
participate
享
in
昆
our
山
work.
创客活动。
我非常支持创客的想法。随即呢，我们把这个想法
I'm very supportive of the idea. After came back from the visit, we started to promote the maker competition on the basis of an experience led by Brother Len and supported by Tong Ji. He started the maker activity and competition. We visit many technology schools in Kunshan and got their support. Because of our inexperience, because it was led by Brother Len and supported by Tong Ji, we started the activity and competition. So what is maker? Makers begin to develop in the US. Makers are people with creativity and action. For example, early founder of Microsoft and Apple are all makers. They have ideas, started to make ideas step by step in their own small space through their own hands. STEAM is the main direction of future education. It combines science, technology, engineering, art, and machinery into an organic form to create young people, cultivate children's teamwork and self-management habits. I'm very happy that in the past few years there have been makers activity and organization in the mainland. Professor Ding has even put Fat Lab, a new type of open creation laboratory initiated by MIT BIT and Atom Research Center. The introduction of small factories that manufacture any product and tools will realize the gathering, development, and cultivation of creative talents. The Maker Laboratory includes from simple hand tools, 3D printers, to sophisticated laser cutting equipment. In the laboratory, in addition to providing an environment for makers to play freely, Professor Neil of MIT has also structured various online courses to cooperate with the actual operation of the offline laboratory. Tziji's environment protection, Jingsi's humanity, and Dai technology are all compassionate technology for products developed to assist disaster victims and emergency relief. These projects that Tzuji is familiar with are all reflect innovation and humanistic care and are very close to the concept of the Fat Lab Laboratory. Kunshan will host the Kunshan Division 2020 from 2019 to 2020. Due to the pandemic, more than 80% of the activity will be held on the online platform developed by Tong Ji. We also receive activity participation from the Kunshan local school. Oh, thank you so much. Due to the short time that we have, thank you for explaining to us what is maker competition and let us know more about this technology. We will join your creativity and technology. And we will send out all your PowerPoint presentation to people all around the world. Thank you. And here the recap from last week's. Today, the recap is from Canada. She is the principal of Canada Chinese School.
指木林升级，登县机长真实力，环保教育愈积极，爱护地球需要你。而我们的周伟新师姐她说，高雄师姐林际会如数一起挺过去。
Last week, Sister Yali talked about being vegetarian and the good part of being a vegan.
人树间，多木成林，林成生，合抱之木始于根，国际航线夜登线，感恩父母伴成长，被祝福才是最
And she
幸
did
福。
5 pages of
感恩自
recaps.
己，大爱情，努力精进不放松。嘉义团队真好棒，变形金刚教育车，爱扫活动做宣传，日不落就爱补习，爱护地球需要你。所以您看看，就从这里我们就即便
So even though you didn't join us last week, but from this recap, you can tell that people really put time into writing this for us. Book guidance sister share the volunteer have helped me making masks at home. Dai Yali discussed the reason why she looks so young and healthy. She is vegan. Arthur Mei promoted her newest book called Seeds. Pilot Mr. Ye is also a Cigi volunteer. He shared his life experience with all the audience. Qingya was the first step for Cigi Environment Education mobile truck to promote and educate communities on how to practice simple life to coexist with Earth. Please give our team a big round of applause. You guys are super. Our team from United States, they are not just have to write down the Chinese recap, they also have to put it in English.
So following section, we're going to have the superintendent of Taipei City Hospital, Superintendent Zhao, who will be joining us. And today we actually invited him as an author because we have this book that he wrote, that love is the best medicine in the world. From this book, I had this motivation that when everyone who came to Cigi had their own affinity, had their own reasons. For Superintendent Zhao, when he first came in, he had no idea about, he's not familiar with Cigi, but he has witnessed some changes that he illustrated in the book. And he found that even though he's not a Buddhist himself, throughout the years, he realized that by putting his mind to it, he could do things a lot better. And he had this motivation that he must do better. And it's not because he had to, but rather because he made this vow to Master Zhen Yan. So let's give him a round of applause. So just like our model, we have to be motivated. Our glory comes from motivation. There's not from waiting. And here, when I read that you decided to go for it, I feel really touched, really motivated. And you share that to bring people to work with you is not by commanding them, but rather do it with them. To motivate people and to make that connection, we have to bring them to do things together with us. And by working with them side by side, then we truly motivate them, change them. By shrinking ourselves, we're not belittling ourselves, but we elevated our love. So if you read this book, you can totally get what we meant. For example, all the incoming staff, when the newcomers come in, the superintendent himself will lead them to do these things. That is to clean the houses for some of the case visits. And he always picked the houses that needs the most amount of care. But when they arrived, the superintendent, he didn't just order them around so that they'll let them do it, but rather he do it himself. I want to make sure he has a clean living area as well. Oh, have you ever noticed that the superintendent is also wearing dye technology goggles? So whenever they meet the case, the visits, like if they have problem with the bowel movement, who is the person doing that? That was definitely a superintendent. By doing it himself, he really motivated and showed people the love of Tzu Chi. So this is what he's here for today, to promote his book. This book represented a beautiful memory. That's the world that I see through my eyes. Love is the best medicine in the world, and it was published in 2017. I'll let the clip run, but here, let me show a little bit of selection. These are little stories, little anecdotes that the people around him wrote for him. This is from his wife that I think all wives should take a look. As we know, that Superintendent Zhao is a very busy person. So every time when he comes home, his wife will bring his two daughters and wait by the front door. So as soon as he walks to the door, they will hold his hands. And one day when they realize, usually his hands are warm, but today one day his hand is really cold. And after asking, they realized that he had been so busy this whole day that he did not eat. So from then on, she decided to send them bread every single day so that they have the opportunity to eat. And they even asked the staff around him to make sure that he has eaten. They say that if he did not eat, they will not call in the next patient for him. Superintendent Zhao is a general. He came from the National Defense School. So he had his very strict personality. But now, throughout the years, he noticed that he has become he has become more emotional. He's easily influenced by what's around him. And he always has a smile on his face. One of the things that really motivated us was that during the earthquake in Nepal, during that time when Superintendent Jian gave him a call, regardless of where he was, because Superintendent Zhao at that time was for his daughter's birthday party. And so as soon as they got the call, he said that he's going to Nepal the next day. And people really worry whether it's really safe. But Superintendent Zhao replied that if Master Zheng Yan said it's okay, then it must be safe. So he shared that every person has a story of their life. So when I first saw that line, I thought it was the stories about Superintendent Zhao, but rather it's more about the stories of Tzu Chi Hospital in Taipei. And his name in Chinese means sincerity, and it's a name by his father. And his father has taught him some tricks for him to survive in the military. He's always say that as soon as you arrive, you will only fill your bowl at about 80%. So as it implies sincerity, I have to be sincere. Otherwise, it's a dishonesty. So during one time when I was making a pledge for vegetarian diet and asking people to pledge, I signed my name, and this is his wife, and So after I made the pledge and had to make a diary and to indicate how many people who have joined us. So I saw two brothers counting how many people have pledged. And he shared that in Ciji, all the numbers are accurate because they counted every single one. If there's 83 people that pledged, there's definitely 83 that follow through. So at that time, I realized that this environment is where I have to be honest. And Master Chen Yihao has always taught us to have integrity, to keep up to honesty. So I can vouch that every word I've written in this book is from my personal experience, is that had really happened. So following next, Superintendent Zhao will probably share with us that regardless, either be COVID-19 or the morning assembly, we can see a lot of heartwarming events. We can see that Superintendent Zhao made his rounds every day personally. And even when the staff has lost hope, he's the one that's still holding on and saving lives one by one. So these clips are documents to maybe motivate a lot of motivating stories. And even when Master Zhen Yan came to visit the Taipei Hospital, these people had shared their testimonies, their experience with Ciji Hospital. So there's so many stories to share. So let's first ask our skits. Love is the best medicine in the world. From the military general hospital to Ciji Hospital, it's the biggest change in my life. Don't belittle yourself because everyone has endless potentials, and that has always been my motivation. Superintendent, oh, thank you so much for guarding the life of my father. Now he has become so healthy. And today I brought guava from my house. We planted ourselves. It's really sweet. You must keep it. Superintendent, thank you. You are a true savior in my life and brought me back to health. And these are little gifts for you. Guarding life, guarding health, it's my responsibility. What you're doing is making me very embarrassed. So how about that? Let me give you a bamboo bank so that we all together can save people who are suffering. That's truly great because saving people cannot be without my help. Thank you so much, Superintendent. Well, Superintendent, so now that we got your bamboo bank to help other people, but shouldn't you accept our little gifts as well? So we have to wish everyone to be safe and happy and together make good affinities and do good deeds. So let's give a round of applause and let's welcome Superintendent Zhao of the Taipei Ciji Hospital. So in the book about these stories have motivated all of us. So superintendents have found this great way as he receives gifts from the patients. Like one of the patients, one elderly patient, when he came, he basically gave him a red envelope and quickly ran away. When the superintendent quickly chased out after him, asked him why he would give him money, and the elderly patient said that these are the money that is ordered by the deities. If they find someone who saved their life, they need to repay them. So as a way of repaying his thanks and as a return gift, he has given every patient a bamboo bank. And that is what Master Zhenyan has always been asking us to do, that we have to reactivate this, reactivate our blessings by collecting donations, asking other people to join us. So let's have you sign this cover. I mean, it's your cover, so feel free to sign it where you like. And let's give a round of applause to thank Superintendent Zhao. At the same time, we also ask everyone online to join us, to let great love shine and spread the great love. So let's see the news from Philippines. This morning, in the morning, we have brought the Ciguan volunteers have brought the Philippine residents and initiated a casual work project, asking them to help clean up their homes. And at the same time, also ask everyone to participate in the bamboo bank so that they can help each other through this difficulty. So every Wednesday we have this connection with the abode, so they can join us. But because Master is visiting different parts of Taiwan, she didn't have the opportunity to join today, so she's not with us today. But today, I would like to invite the participants of our online study group. If you have a bamboo bank next to you, then let's follow what Superintendent Zhao has done and share this bamboo bank with people around you so that together they could cultivate blessings. So let me invite all the participants with us and have a sincere prayer. If you didn't bring your bamboo bank, if you didn't have a bamboo bank with you, if you don't have the opportunity to, you can also take your donations and remember to bring it whenever you have the opportunity. So with Superintendent Zhao here today, I would like to give the bamboo bank to everyone here that is here with us today. And with a sincere heart, let's cultivate our blessings and share the bamboo bank with everyone and have people donate to help the people around the world. And just pour your love into the bamboo bank. And if you don't have a bamboo bank, feel free to come get one from here. And I'll ask Superintendent Zhao to come here and pass out the bamboo bank as a symbol of blessing to everyone that joined in.
们好了，因为他们阿嬷不用那么勉强，阿嬷请他们不用这样子哦，因为我们好来感恩，是可以多方好不好？感恩哦，直接给阿嬷他们哈，可以到楼下先去放。嘿，感恩感。好，时间下去就好，好不好？爸爸，你直接到这边可以哦。好。好，感恩哦。不用了，我时间上。
Now, because of the time, let's take a pause from the donations and just give a warm round of applause. And let's read together here that families who cultivate blessings will receive blessings. Every single drop will bring us safety. Let's read that one more time. Family that cultivate blessings will receive blessings. Every single drop can bring us health and safety. So the bamboo banks that we prepared today is to share with what Superintendent Zhao was doing all the time. Every time when there is a call for donations, he's always the first to answer. So let's welcome Superintendent Zhao to share with us.
谢谢，你们等一下再捐啊。是，没关系。来，院长，感恩您，对不起，耽误您时间。
Dear Masters, Above Masters, Sister Meiyun, and everyone who is here and also online, wish you a good day. First, I would like to share my gratitude for Sister Meiyun for giving me this opportunity. The two sisters that were shared in front of me, I thought that they didn't have enough time. They have done a lot, and they can sing as well. Also have a beautiful voice. So when I come up, I feel a bit of a pressure. So today, because how much time I have, it's not a big deal because I have written it very clearly in my book. I want to share a secret for you guys. I'm actually a very shy person. I come from a very simple family. I only have a younger brother. Now, my father came to Taiwan after the tumultuous year in the Civil War in China. So he has been an orphan, and there's not a lot of families. So I have this nature of always being shy and not so unsure myself in big crowds. So love is the best medicine. That this book is a documentary to document the world I see through my eyes in Ciguan. And I was surprised to find this world so beautiful, so full of love that I never known before. I'm not a bad doctor. Like if you have a election process or competition to see who's the best doctor, I have received many awards as well. But after coming to Ciguan, I noticed that if any of the doctors in Ciji have participated in this competition, I wouldn't have won anything, because the doctors of Ciji have followed Master Zhen Yan's footsteps very closely to share the love with sincerity and to care for people around them. Before, I don't really know how to describe the word love or how to quantify it, because it's not something you can measure with a thermometer or with a chart to see how deep is your love. But in Ciji, I've seen that that love is seen when you realize your responsibility through the sufferings of other people. And because you realize your responsibility, you're willing to give without asking for anything in return. And with Master's leadership, we have strive to make people feel respected as they're receiving help. Now, these kind of pictures just to share with you that even during the humble beginning, the very difficult times, Master Zhen Yan has walked into these houses by herself. She has, from a very early time, brought the responsibility of the world onto herself. So the brothers and sisters of Ciji who have followed Master for many years, they're willing to share and bear this responsibility. And they've seen whatever the needs are, they can give their blessings in a joyful manner. So when I first joined Ciji, when I first came to Ciji, some of the stories that I've heard, like the uniforms that these kids would receive, were always tailored and measured to their size, because masters always say that to give to people, we have to give them the best. Even back then in the eastern part of Taiwan, where medical service is really lacking, Master has started the free clinic. Like this person, if as soon as they lose their leg, they might change from a provider to a recipient. So when I saw this picture, I have a lot of thoughts. When I first became an internist, when I was caring for a diabetic patient, she had a giant ulcer on her foot. At that time, it was only 1982, quite a while ago. At that time, the extent of medicine is just to change the dressings, give some antibiotics, and that's about the most you can do. So at that time, when one of the attendings came and showed us that this is called diabetic foot ulcer, and the treatment is to amputate it below the knee. Well, it's not like this picture. This is above the knee amputation. Like you see here, if they're amputated above the knee, when they sit on the bench, they have to support themselves because they couldn't keep their balance. So at that time, it seems like below the knee amputation is a very humane way, because it seems to be the most compassionate treatment, because she had this giant ulcer on her foot. So I told her that I'm gonna find the orthopedic surgeon and told her that we'll find an orthopedic surgeon to do the amputation soon. Well, immediately she and her husband, an elderly man, they started crying, and she said that she didn't want to get amputated. She'd rather jump off the building than get a foot amputation. But at that time, I felt that she's just very disobedient, very disobedient, didn't really want to follow the medical order. So I decided to do it differently. Some people change the dressing once a day. We change the medication, change the dressing every couple hours, and amazingly, it healed. So they brought me a plaque. I wouldn't dare to receive it because I almost amputated her foot. So from there, I actually wrote my first doctoral publication and share how to care for patients with diabetic ulcers. After my sharing, my symposium, one of the doctors came to ask me, when do you do the amputation? Well, I couldn't have had a absolute answer. I just told them that as soon as the internist, if the internist couldn't cure it, then we will amputate it. Now, from this picture, as we see that, taking a picture, you have to pretend to be very happy because it must be one of the better ones to keep. When I saw this picture, I saw that I looked cuter back then. So coming out of going into a military school for medical training has never been my career choice. Because back then, when I'm coming from the countryside, people who were able to go into the high school were people who have special talent. So how did I end up in the military school? Well, it's because at that time my family has bought a house, and he put a down payment for the house, and he didn't have money to tuition to pay for my education. So, but military school, on the other hand, is free, and you even get a stipend monthly to live on. So my dad was a veteran. So his worldly view is only limited to the military, and he really thought that this is the best way for me, even though I didn't quite agree with it. So even though I didn't want to, there's really no other choice for me at that time. So I had to just stick with it. So after graduation, when I got to the hospital, my research assistant, took this picture with me with my wife, and I thought this is probably the better time of my life, that I would always stay working in the military hospital. But not too long after, I received a calling that asked me to serve in the city hospital in Taipei. So leaving somewhere that I've been working with for so long has been a difficult choice. Like I shared earlier, I'm a very shy person. I'm a little scared of unfamiliar places. I'm happier with people that I know that I've been with for years. But fortunately, in Ciji, everyone is so full of love. Everyone loves who Master loves. So I feel everyone is very approachable, as if I've known them for years. This is this is in Wulai, where we participated in one of the cleanings after a typhoon. We were washing the muck that's been flooding on the street. That day, there is a colonel that was bringing the military to help with that. I felt really familiar, just like he was that I've known him for years. So I worked in the military hospital in 1981. So I have built a lot of relationship with my classmates. And even though I've left there for 11 years, they still invited me. They were asked which day I'm free, and they will host it on that day. So I'm very touched that they still remember me, and I will share with them what I've seen in Ciji. They were enjoying my stories. So last year they had a surprise for me. They had a very big cake, and they had hid secretly. So I was really, really touched, really emotional when I saw it. Master has said that we have to always build good affinities. Every person we meet is an opportunity for us to grow, for us to make good connections. And I'm very glad I made such connections. This is a very small plaque, but it also made me really happy. Like even in the Ciguan University, so I only had the opportunity to teach for like 1 hour, but even then I still got a plaque for the most satisfied speaker. So I'm very blessed to have the opportunity to meet a lot of young students, and I'm very surprised how they could pick up the important parts very quickly. So I actually didn't know it was there. It's one of my underclassmen who saw it one day and sent me this picture. So the National Defense Department has invited me to a symposium to listen to me share because the person was one of my underclassmates. So I share with them a lot of stories of Ciji, how love is the best medicine for the society, for the world. As we know that the military schools are always very, very serious. So most people like they were on their phones or sleeping if there was any other speaker. But that day, the superintendent even came and gave me a hug because he was so touched. Kind of very military-like. And at the same time, he also asked the students to come to raise their hands and share just to make sure that they didn't fall asleep. So the doctors like this one, this is a dentist. As she shared, she started crying. She had a very soft heart. So when I gave her a hug, I realized that she had almost a cockeyed. So I feel that as she grows up, she must have had some difficulties because of her conditions. And so that's the reason why she's so emotional, because she has that experience. So Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital has been a hospital that's full of love, and everything is documented in the book. Like as we've seen, about 66% of the patients, about 2/3 of the patients in a hospital, there are a low-income family. It's kind of amazing that in New Taipei City, one of the highest living standard areas in Taiwan, they're still low-income families. And among them, about 10 to 11%, they have never been to elementary school, they were illiterate. And it really shocked me how these people come to us. And that's because it's because of Tzu Chi, because they couldn't get into any other hospital because they have no other choice. They didn't know where else to go. And that's why the volunteers will bring them to Tzu Chi, or they'll come to Tzu Chi. Some hospitals were refer them to us. So I'm kind of glad that they still remember us. Like for this elderly patient, you can see his foot. The sisters would groom him first before bringing him to the hospital. So from these stories, like our brothers and sisters can see their responsibilities to the suffering others. Like those who knows how to cut hair or groom or shave, they would do that for them. And those who can drive will bring them to the hospital. And the nurses, the medical personnel are responsible for healing them, curing them. And as they get back to their house, the the community volunteers will take on that responsibility and care for them. So I feel like my power is so small that as soon as they leave the hospital, I am powerless. But in Ciji, I'm really glad that there are other people who take on their responsibility to look after these patients. So like this patient who's overweight, this is the alleyway that he lived in. And we really wanted to help him, but we couldn't find a means of transporting him to the hospital. And even if we bring him to the hospital, this patient would need a gastric bypass to help him lose some weight. But we couldn't fit them in our hospital beds. So in order to help them, he must help himself. Like he needs to lose some weight first so we can bring him over. So a lot of these doctors from our hospitals will come visit him, share with him, tell him that what he needs to do first. Like you can see his the fat on his stomach is actually like falling, it's drooping, and his house is very messy as well. So there's so many stories that are discovered by our community volunteers, and they found them and they asked for us so that we can come to their aid. So like for this patient, he is mentally disabled. He brought to the hospital because he had a abscess on his forehead. His brother cut the abscess or popped the abscess with a dirty scissor, and it got infected. So he had an abscess on his head, which is very dangerous. And we found that his mother had 4 mentally disabled kids. She cared for them to their adulthood, but as soon as she passed away, there's nobody else to care for them anymore. And his father had left the house because his father remarried. So, but all the kids have no regret or no regret for the fact towards his father, because his father had good genes that had another family and was able to help them. So like this patient, as he's mentally disabled, couldn't find a job, so he just kind of wandered around the streets every day. So our brothers and sisters brought him to the recycling stations to make sure that he didn't get tricked or kidnapped. And he couldn't even answer his own name. So when we asked who could care for him, who could take care of him, since this patient doesn't have any relatives, our volunteers took on that responsibilities. So our sister work in the recycling station during the day, and at nighttime come to spend time with this patient. So when I visited the recycling station, the sisters also brought the patient come back to me. Even with love and motivation, he can answer more. He says that he recognizes me. So even though there's not much time left, all the stories are in the book. So this is in Taoyuan when I joined the year-end blessing. The sisters asked me to sit down with these kids because they needed my counsel. And I discovered at that time, they really didn't need doctors to diagnose them, because the brothers and sisters always take care of them. So they don't really need professional counsel, but rather it's just this, they just need this opportunity to be listened to. So as you see this young woman, there are 5 kids in front of her. And all these 5 kids all these 5 kids come from five different fathers. And there's a lot of stories behind it. It could be because this mother didn't really have the economic means of supporting them, so she had to be with other men to help support her kids. So we found that her relatives have a bent spine. Like this is the older brother. You can see that he has difficulty walking. And you can see his hands. It's pretty much skin and bone. And you can see the older brother wearing red and his younger brother wearing gray. You can see how their spines are curved. And as we brought them to the hospital, we realized that the older brother has already passed the best treatment time, but the younger brother is still treatable. So a couple of years later, we brought them to the Ciguan hospital and had the spine orthopedic surgeon to do the diagnosis. And from here, you can see the before and after pictures and how that spine was able to be straightened up. And the older brother can only give his blessings because he's passed the best treatment time. So in Ciguan Hospital, we have seen a lot of patients who are suffering, but I'm really grateful to have doctors who are really caring, that brought them towards happiness. This person came from Philippines in the Bohol Islands because of their parents divorced. She followed her grandma. And because of the surgery, we needed someone who able to accompany them, to translate them. That's when we finally brought the sister with her. They live in a grass hut selling desserts, make a little amount of living, and that's their world. But after they come into Ciguan Hospital through surgery, we can see everyone loved them. Our volunteers, our transportation crew, everyone was really caring for them because everyone saw their responsibilities that they're needed. And through the 2 surgeries, she gained 15 centimeters. The most importantly is through that this time, she vowed that she wanted to be a social worker. She wanted to go to a university because she said that a social worker is the most caring for her and is the most important in finding resources to help people like her. She's in the university now and soon will be graduated. In Kaohsiung, Dr. Ye shared that one of the monk has an accident, and this is what happened to the foot. Dr. Ye wanted to amputate because he couldn't save the foot. So asked if he could refer the patient to Taipei Ciguan Hospital. As you can see, it's been a while because we have to clean out the necrotic tissue, the black part. And so with skin transplants, and after so many treatment surgeries, finally, this is a picture that the monastic took the picture and shared with us that he could stand up and actually walk because he didn't need to be amputated. This is in January this year, where a Vietnamese woman who came to visit her daughter in Taiwan, who's just about to give birth, and went somewhere not so far from the hospital. She got into an accident and went under the semi truck. You can see from this picture, this large amount of trauma, this rib fracture. This is a very difficult case. A lot of times in many hospitals, to save them, they have to amputate below it, above the knee, just in the thigh area. But our doctors didn't want to do that. So they spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, and finally were able to save her foot. You can see that she's able to put her grandson on her lap, and you can see both of her foot there. So from here, you can see if the doctors didn't give up, then they can do a lot more. And this is one of our volunteers who got into an accident. So when they're hospital, they say that they need to amputate it. You can see this large rip and fracture. And when she was transferred to the Hualien hospital, to the Ciguan Taipei hospital, we really thought for a long time if we can take an opportunity. So we really wanted to save her, and because of the fracture, because of the rip in her blood vessels, we thought of many ways to reconnect it. So one of our doctors took a graft from the other foot, from the other leg, and then transplanted to the ruptured one. And then we brought the cardiologist who come to reconnect the blood vessels. At the end, we can see this patient finally regained her foot, and she's able to walk again. And she's continued to volunteer with us. So lastly, I have to share my gratitude for Masters, because she has personally walked into the sufferings and took on the responsibilities of the people suffering in the world. And from her, we learned what is great love. And I'm also very grateful for our brothers and sisters, because all of you are my teachers. Because what you've done is to see the needs of the people and take them as a responsibility. And I'd like to thank Sister Mei Yun for giving me this opportunity. Now, if you haven't had enough, feel free to check out my book. Thank you all. Superintendent Zhao is actually someone who really knows how to tell a story. Everyone here can testify to that. And he didn't really teach us a moral, but by sharing his experience, we learn from that. So regardless of how much she said, there's a lot more that's included in this book. So we must truly believe that love is the best medicine for the world. And from there, we can see when he was little, how does he have this kind of the memory? Like one of the stories share that because he followed his grandma to the grocery market, and he saw one stall that nobody buy this stuff, and he thought it must be bad, but he felt bad for the person, so he decided to buy from that stall. And he only did that because he wanted to help the people. And then he even shared that when one day he was eating, when somebody came up to him and asked him that if he could get a bite, well, Superintendent Zhao immediately shared what he was eating with the other person. So all these stories are included in the book. So if you really want to know more, please, you can get this book. They're very short couple pages in the book that shared about how the hospital was assessed during the assessment. You can see during that time how to bring everyone from top to bottom all together with one heart to pass the assessment. And this is the parents of one of the hospitals where Superintendent Zhao was working. And they wanted to come and share their gratitude, especially the love that they felt or their son felt when working with Superintendent Zhao. And these volunteers are going to start their training and be certified. And this also Dr. Hong's mother, which is also another doctor at the City Taipei Hospital. So you can see from what he has shared in this book that love is the best medicine in the world. It's not just a slogan, it's not just a title. This is actually what he does in his real life. And through the experience that with Master, that they make notice that what he likes to eat. So if you have the opportunity to eat with Master, his rice box will always have a special marking and be packed with things he wants to eat. So you can see, why are we promoting these energy drinks, or energy powder? Oh, that's simply because I believe that this is the best way to help patients after surgery. Like if they need a nutrients, but they couldn't handle a lot of foods. So I would always ask them to get these things because I personally feel that they will be very helpful for their recovery. And it started with an idea, like from my wife who had a surgery not too long ago. As a doctor, we all know that this is not a big surgery, but as a husband, we felt really bad for her. So when the doctor told them to have a soft diet, have a light meal, I was scared that she wouldn't get enough nutrients. So I mixed these drinks for her. And as soon as she was discharged, she shared how these are the best things. She didn't get bloated from drinking these. So this is where I want to promote this to everyone. It's no other reason, just because it's really good. And the green cap is the one sweetened, and the orange is sweetened. And we have these personal to-go packs that will make it easy for people to carry with you if you're going out of the house. So we're very grateful that he's also here to share with us and sign the books. So for all our participants here, we all know that you didn't have enough. So let's wish that Superintendent Zhao will come and share with us again. So personally, I have two comments. First, I feel like this picture is way too big. People think this is my autobiography, but it's not. It's just stories that in the hospital. But the publisher needed a book, a big picture of me to attract attention. And also, this book is not from Jingsi Publishing. because during that time, we wanted to spread Tzu Chi to let more people. So we choose a different publisher who have different distribution channels. And Master asked me to have this with a different publisher. And even though it's a different publisher, not published by Jingsi, we all still love it because when we see this book, we thought that it would be more of your stories. But after reading it, we noticed that these are the things that you see, and these are the what you have saw through your eyes. And as we say in Tzu Chi Hospital, that we're not here to make money. We're here to create love, to create blessings. And you couldn't believe how energy efficient it is in Tzu Chi Hospital, because the lights they're shut off when there's nobody there. And so whenever anyone gets an award, regardless of how busy he is, Superintendent Zhao will personally congratulate the person. So if you want to know more of the stories, please get this book. And we're very grateful that he's able to join us with us today, and really feel loved, really feel blessed. Because with sincerity, then he will invite more of his staff, doctors, to come share with us. So we also have our teachers associations, our drumming team that are joining us here today. So next we will have Superintendent Zhao to join our translation team and just share, to have a chat with them. So everyone, just take this opportunity. And this is just a preview. Next week, we're going to connect to our sister Thai in Mozambique, and also from Beijing, and our speakers. Next week, we have Dr. Lai, a pharmacist, and also our doctors from Tzu Chi hospitals. And besides the vegetarian promotions, we also have volunteers from our local regions. And next month, we will have our documentation volunteers who will share their stories with us. And then we also have the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital superintendent to come share with us. So here I must share with you all a segment. And this is for Superintendent Zhao, who said that Superintendent Zhao is treating everyone, the staff, just like a family. And we're very grateful that you helped clean and paint it during the trainee camp this year. And we had the opportunity to see firsthand that your leadership, you're actually helping people. So everyone, please rise. Put your palms together. And in the form of 3 bows. First bow, second bow, and third bow.
好，我们挥手跟上人金色师父说线上家人再见。麻烦团队还有你们先排队，我们准备跟